Hello and welcome to the banking show of Business Standard. You sold
Okay.
Co-Cubes to an MNC for a tidy sum, I imagine. And then you spent some time trying to figure out what to do next. And I think you gave it a fair bit of time. What made you zero in on neo banking? What is it that you are trying to do here?
I gave my mom a HDFC Bank credit card and a debit card, right? And I asked her not to use the credit card for withdrawing money, right? Because there are penalties and interest and things like those, right? So she
Right.
noted it down on a piece of paper, खरीदने के लिए and पैसा निकालने के लिए. But she
Okay.
was still not comfortable, right? And she stopped using the card completely.
Sorry to interrupt. Which card did she stop using? The credit card?
She stopped using both because she wasn't
Oh,
sure on which what should be done,
okay.
right?
So why the confusion? Better
Why
to.
the confusion, right? Let me just use cash. Then the second thing which happened was to understand that both the markets. I was doing a lot of research, talking to people, talking to professionals to understand what do they expect. To my surprise, most of the people's answer were towards just keep our money safe,
Yes.
right? And while I was talking to a young couple, right, their 9-year-old girl came with a piggy bank, right, and
Okay.
showed me that piggy bank. Uncle, my money doesn't grow whenever whatever I put remains the same
In the piggy bank, the
in the
money
piggy
doesn't
bank,
grow.
right?
Okay.
The amount of smile you could see if she earns 1 rupees extra on that money,
Mhm.
right, is like breathtaking,
Okay.
right? So looking at all these problems, we decided fintech seems like an interesting place. The only improvement or only change which has gone into fintech or salaried market, which is what we are targeting, right,
Yes.
has been around, I think, 20 years back when HDFC changed the game of how salaries were transferred, right? How the salary can be transferred if you have both employer and employee account in the same account. So
Yes.
money goes in the same day. Otherwise, it will take 3, 4 days,
Right.
right?
Now that you are in this sector and given the environment that we have, especially in the last few days, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And the fintech environment is in a certain situation. Do you have any regrets?
After CoCubes, I learned flying, right? So I'm a pilot,
You are a
uh,
licensed pilot.
right?
Wow.
So, one thing which any pilot will tell you, right, is headwinds are good when you want to take off, right? They
Okay.
reduce the shorten your runway,
Okay.
right? And these are like headwinds for us, right? We're taking
Right.
off. My first startup, I was very, very sure
Uh-huh.
in 2, 3 years, I will become a billionaire, right? I'll graduate, I'll become a billionaire, I'll sell the
Did
company
you?
to, right, right, I'm not, right? So basically, the idea, Suveen, is very, very clear that a company cannot be built, or a successful company or a profitable company cannot be built in 2 years,
Right.
right? It takes time to build something which is valuable, right?
Yes. Yes.
And if the time is 7 to 8 years, right, then you should be absolutely prepared for a lot of ups and downs.
Okay. When people say fintech, they probably think of one monolithic thing, which it is not.
Yeah.
There is fintech and there is fintech. Which area of fintech are you focusing on, and what is the difference you are trying to make there?
Fintech is in general a lot more than what it is being seen as public, right?
Yes,
When
yes,
you see a account getting opened in less than 2 minutes, right? That's fintech doing the innovation,
yes,
right? When
yes,
you see the loan application getting approved in a minute, right? That's
yes.
fintech who is recommending it,
Right.
right? So fintech is a lot more than just these 2, 3 products, right? For one bank, this is not just fintech.
Mhm.
This is a ecosystem which we need to create, a ecosystem between merchants, employers, payroll providers, and all of these connected services,
Okay.
right? With the growth of AI and growth of technologies and connected ecosystems, right? What
Yes.
is super critical is for a ecosystem to get created and each of these parties talking to each other very, very efficiently.
One bank is now about 4 years and 4 months old, roughly.
Sure.
Will take a few days. So, and you have worked with payroll processing companies, and you have banks, legacy banks as partners. What kind of difference have you made so far? What have you done?
So when you talk about fintech or one bank specifically,
Yes.
Suveen, right?
One
What we
bank.
do is we plug into HRMS systems, we
Yes.
plug into merchants, right?
Yes.
We plug into banks,
Yes.
right? So we build a central place from where a customer can do whatever it wants to do, right?
Mhm.
And he doesn't have to jump between 3 different systems.
So what you are doing, and sorry for the starkness of the
Sure.
question, but why do we need one bank to do it? Can't banks do it themselves? They have been there for years, some of them for decades. Why can't they do what you are doing? Yes.
They cannot go and tie up with HRMS systems, right? They cannot pull their data inside the HRMS systems,
Okay.
right? They cannot go and talk to Make My Trip and pull all the things, do a compiling around it, understand what is going on, apply AI on it, and project to a customer, right?
Yes.
So I have a habit of transferring X amount of my money to my mom as soon as the salary hits,
Okay.
right? And I've been doing that for last 20 years,
Okay.
right? It's the same account, it's the same amount of money, it's going to the same output folder, right?
Yes.
Now, a bank system can obviously look at it and automate this for me, right? As soon as a salary hit, a pop-up comes, hey, Vibhore, do you want to clear out this checklist for you? Instead of
Okay.
that, it's a 3 minutes process.
Okay.
So there are some places where bank can optimize, right? When the data is completely with them,
Right.
right? Then there are places where banks cannot optimize because the data resides with third parties, right? And
Right.
they cannot pull out the data, right?
Okay.
There's a
Okay.
tag associated with the bank, right? Bank is supposed to do payment, investments, all of these things, right?
Yes.
A customer doesn't associate with saying, okay, if I want to buy an iPhone, should I go to Amazon or should I go to a banking app? What a bank does is clear to a customer. A
Okay.
bank cannot start doing something which is completely outside, with the customers are accustomed with something else.
Right. To take us back to the story about your mother who had stopped using both the cards. Now, with hindsight, what can we really do to popularize the use of cards?
You need to talk to the high class salaried people, because if I'm using it, if you are using it, then people who work with you, right?
Yes.
Your juniors, your mate, your cook, all of them wants it, right? That's an
Right.
aspirational product for them. Bank and fintech, all of us needs to do is, right, put
Right.
restrictions at the source,
Yes.
right? What I mean by that, Suveen, is if you have Paytm or if you have Google Pay or if you have Phone Pay, right? You have three different apps, right?
Correct.
The
Yes.
restrictions are applied on each of these apps. Any
Okay.
change needs to be given to all three apps, right? And the government cannot take care of all the apps which are available for UPI. And applying rules over here has a very bad impact, because although these are supposed to be applied, they need to be enforced at the back end and the
Right.
back end of the banks. We need to do around cards and UPI and wallets and all of those. So
Mhm.
we is educate the bottom layer, right? And the bottom layer is the younger generation.
You talked about, making a difference in this area. What is next on your agenda? You also mentioned the regulatory environment. What kind of support would you expect from the system in your mission?
So next for us, Suveen, is to scale up, right? From 1 to 10,
Okay.
right? We have X
So
amount of customer, we need to go
where
to
are you
10X.
now? When you say 1 to 10, where are you now on that scale?
So we have about a lakh signed up customers,
Okay.
right? We need to get to a million marker, right?
Right.
That is in some way a knee point for us as a startup, right?
And these customers are salary accounts holders, are
These
they?
are absolutely salary account. All of them are above 4 lakh in salary,
Okay.
right? That is our target segment. Anyone who makes a salary of 4 lakh rupees or above, or the other way to look at it, anyone who files a ITR today, right,
Right.
is our target segment,
Okay.
right? And in India, there are more than 6.5 crore people from the salaried account who file income tax,
Right.
right? So market is large enough, right? The next target for us is to get to 10 million customers,
Okay.
right?
So one
The
crore out
vision
of
is,
six and a half.
right.
Okay.
Uh, what we need support on this one is, one, obviously something which industry can support on, right? Being more
Yes.
open minded and get more, lot more support from, let's say, NPCI, let's say government, right?
Yes.
On regulations being very, very clear. There's some places where things are gray. Today, it takes 3 minutes for a video KYC to happen, Sreen,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
And before that 3 minutes, there's 3 to 5 minutes of wait. Now, 8 minutes, right? Our target is to open an account in 38 seconds, right? There are a
Wow.
lot of practices out there which says a customer starts to lose interest after 38 seconds. But for us, after that, if there's an 8 minute break, then this innovation is actually technically useless, right? I could
Yes.
have just taken 2 minutes and not worry about it.
That'll be amazing. Coming to my last question, even though we are doing this interview on a video call, you and I are sitting just a few kilometers apart.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like we are in different climate zones looking at what
Right.
we are wearing. Is a black round neck t-shirt the uniform for a startup founder?
No. And it's not a copy.
Isn't it, Kapil? So, Vibhor, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. Good luck and bye for now.
Thanks, Suveen.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that led success soar high. I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank, SBI, the banker to every Indian.